Motorcyclist is dead tonight after authorities say they crashed into a horse trailer. We'll have a report from the scene and bring you everything we know so far.
Hopefully you enjoyed the quiet weather today because it changes tomorrow. I'm tracking breezy to gusty winds and a chance of rain.
And shocking news about a former Gonzaga basketball player and current Memphis Grizzly, Brandon Clarke. The franchise announcing the 29-year-old has died. The latest details on the investigation. Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan. All right, we kick things off this half hour with a check of the forecast. Made it all the way into the 80s today here in Spokane, but meteorologist Cody Proctor on the Outdoor Weather Center saying we're expecting some changes in the coming hours. Cody?
That's right, Mark. We've got some big changes on the way as we head into tomorrow. But I do want to talk about the now right now because our current temperature is 82 degrees at this very moment. Our winds are coming out the east-northeast at 10 miles per hour. Now, to put that in perspective, I'm going to take you back to Bloomsday. Our high that day was 79 degrees. And before today, that was our warmest day so far this year from what I am seeing right now, according to some of the weather records that we have. So potentially this is our warmest day so far this year, and we're certainly feeling like it with our temperatures around the region, mostly in the upper 70s right now for Sandpoint and into the 80s for the rest of the region. But we do have a weather impact alert as we head into tomorrow for that next big change with some breezy winds over here. Sorry about that. We had a cover for one of our screens that just fell down. But as we head into tomorrow, we're expecting those winds. We have wind advisories that are set to go into effect across our region tomorrow, as well as some high wind warnings further south towards Pomeroy and closer towards like the Blue Mountains right there. Hour by hour as we head into tonight, that heat stays with us. Tomorrow morning starts us off in the upper 50s. Tomorrow, expect a drop in those temperatures. Could be in the upper 60s with that wind, that chance of showers. It's a lot to keep track of. We'll have more for you coming up later.
We'll talk to you then, Cody. Thank you. Meantime, one person is dead following a crash involving a motorcycle and a pickup truck with a horse trailer. That crash happened this morning on Highway 2 near Cattails Wildlife Center. That is where we find KREM 2's Christian Garza tonight. He is live with the latest on this investigation. Christian?
Well, at around 3:30 this afternoon, northbound State Route 2 fully reopened following that deadly crash. Now, Washington State Patrol says that the motorcyclist was actually heading north when a horse trailer that was turning left onto South State Route 2, that's when the motorcyclist hit him. Now, this all happened just before noon. WSP says it believes the motorcycle was traveling around 80 miles an hour here in this 45-mile-per-hour stretch of road after gathering information from witnesses on scene. That driver has now been identified as 20-year-old Drake Britton from Chattaroy. WSP tells me crews began life-saving measures once they arrived, but Britton died at the scene. They say speed and inexperience are the two main factors in this crash. Crews were investigating and cleaning up the roadway for about 3 hours, which caused major delays here on Yale Road. WSP says no one else, including the horses that were inside of that trailer, were hurt during the incident. The driver of the trailer is not facing any charges. Sergeant Riddell with WSP emphasizes that both motorcyclists and drivers need to be extra careful on the road, especially as we start to see this nicer weather going into summer. In Spokane, Christian Garza, KREM 2 News.
Christian, thank you very much. Police arrested 18-year-old Tiberius Johnson for a shooting in North Spokane last week. Police say on May 6th at around 9 p.m., officers responded to the 9400 block of North Division Street after a caller reported hearing gunshots. The person also said they saw a group of people running away from the scene. Later in the night, a local hospital employee called to report a gunshot victim who'd arrived. The victim had life-threatening injuries and was flown to Harborview Medical Center. 2 days later, police arrested Johnson for first-degree assault. And tonight we have new information on a wildfire in Grant County. That fire is burning in the Hanford Reach National Monument in Mattawa area. It burned a little more than 3,000 acres. It's now 40% contained. U.S. Fish and Wildlife officials say there are no evacuations or homes that are threatened right now. And we are tracking some breaking news out of the NBA today. Former Gonzaga star and Memphis Grizzlies forward Brandon Clarke has died. Authorities in Los Angeles declared Clarke deceased after responding to an emergency call at a home in the San Fernando Valley at around 5 p.m. last night. KREM 2 Sports Director Andrew Quinn joining us now with more on Clarke's career at Gonzaga and in the NBA. Andrew?
Yeah, good evening, Mark. Certainly stunning news today as Clarke was heading into the final year of his 4-year, $50 million contract he signed with the Grizzlies back in 2022. Clarke was born in Canada but prepped at Desert Vista High School in Phoenix. He spent his first 2 collegiate seasons at San Jose State before transferring to Gonzaga in 2017. In his one season at GU in 2018, Clarke became a star alongside fellow forward Rui Hachimura. In 37 games, Clarke averaged 16.9 points, 8.6 rebounds, and 3.2 blocks per game while setting program records in field goal percentage, blocks, and offensive rebounds in a single season. Clarke etched himself into Gonzaga NCAA tournament lore as well with a masterful 36-point, 8-rebound, 5-block, 3-assist performance in the Zags' second-round victory over Baylor in 2019. He was drafted 21st overall by the Oklahoma City Thunder in the 2019 NBA draft before immediately being dealt to Memphis. He was named the 2019 NBA Summer League MVP. In 7 seasons in Memphis, Clarke averaged 10.2 points and 5.5 rebounds per game in 309 games played, but unfortunately he was limited to just 72 games in the past 3 seasons due to injuries. Now, reaction has been pouring in from Clarke's former teammates at Gonzaga and in the NBA. Head coach Mark Few released a statement saying in part, quote, "We are devastated to hear the news about Brandon. Brandon was a spectacular player and competitor and a phenomenal teammate. He was a true legend who will never be forgotten here at Gonzaga." Certainly for those of us who knew Brandon and covered him at Gonzaga, this news comes as a great shock. I graduated from GU with Brandon in 2019 and remember him as a very kind young man who always had a smile on his face and never turned down a Gonzaga Bulletin interview. Brandon Clarke was 29 years old. Mark?
Andrew, thank you very much. Our thoughts certainly go out to his family tonight. Coeur d'Alene police are looking for 2 runaway boys today. They think they could be heading to Los Angeles. On your screen right now is 15-year-old Elijah James Borner and 15-year-old Michael Robert McGee. They reportedly ran away yesterday. Borner's parents said they think the 2 left on bicycles. Police say the boys could still be in the Spokane area or heading south to LA. So if you see them or know where they are, you are asked to contact police. Up next, Providence announcing a shakeup for its behavioral health services. After the break, what changes are and who is being impacted. And a bit later, 3 King County residents being monitored for the hantavirus outbreak after being exposed to someone who was on a passenger on the MV Hondias.